Berserk is one of the most critically acclaimed manga/anime of all time. Because of its fleshed-out, complex characters, it has drawn many comparisons with the works of the 19th century philosopher one Friedrich Nietzsche. And in this presentation, I will draw some parallels with Nietzsche's work and the themes presented within Berserk. The book I will be referencing in this presentation was a work composed between 1883 and 1885, named Thus Spoke Zarathustra. In this book, Nietzsche covers a wide array of philosophical concepts, but none more important than the idea of the overman, or Übermensch. As Nietzsche envisioned, man is something that shall be overcome. Man is a rope tied between beast and overman, a rope over an abyss. What is great in man is that he is a bridge and not an end. Thus, Nietzsche sees mankind as an intermediary stage, a part of the process towards becoming something greater, and be given meaning by how it advances a new generation of human beings. But seeing that path towards overman is precarious, man must live on the edge by accepting an uncomfortable disposition in the pursuit of transformation, a Dionysian outlook on life, as it were, one that embraces the veil of illusions to take actions and construct their own reality. And to accomplish this goal, one must engage in a metamorphosis of human growth that precipitates a self-affirming, self-confident being who wills its own will and is not concerned about the thoughts or societal norms of others. The spiritual metamorphosis towards the overman has three distinct stages that must be undertaken/overcome in the liberation of one's own spirit. These stages are as follows: the load-bearing, challenge-accepting camel, the value-creating, will-imposing lion, and the self-propelling rebirth as a child. Before this venture can be commenced, however, one must first break the routine of playing it safe as a lowly sheep/spirit. One can never transcend their limits and optimize their potential by acquiescing to the role of a victim. Pointing the finger at others will never elevate one's sense of self-worth, and will only stagnate the individual's development, creating a rut in which they live in constant trepidation, accomplishing nothing except surviving, a comfortable existence with no aspirations to speak of, and, fittingly, no worthwhile rewards. But there are those who resist the pleasures of the world for something greater. Thus, the spirit begins to demand the maximum out of itself, and transforms into a camel. Guts, the main character of Berserk, constantly pushes his physical limits to rejoice in his own strength. In fact, Guts defines his existence by accepting the most difficult task possible to prove his power to others. While his resolve is impressive, his body/mind becomes taxed with the weight of another's dream. A camel may possess incredible strength/endurance, but for as long as he remains subservient, he will never realize true freedom. Hence, Guts, the camel, encounters a metaphorical desert in which he faces an existential crisis and wonders how he should proceed in life. This is a tumultuous time for the young swordsman, but it is necessary for him to cast off the shackles of others' expectations so he can finally will his own spirit, instead of having someone else will it for him. Before we discuss Guts' transformation into a lion, we must acknowledge the lion that already exists, that being the young prodigy Griffith, a man who ceaselessly strives towards self-actualization in pursuit of his ultimate goal of becoming the Midland King. But it's more than the mere prestige that drives Griffith. It's the aspiration to attain freedom, genuine freedom, from the external forces that aim to control him, i.e. the Queen and the members of the Midland Court. In addition, Griffith also conquers the various naysayers, i.e. generals, who claim, "Thou shalt not capture Doldry Castle, because the risks are too high." This harkens to the Nietzschean concept of defeating the great dragon, who lieth in the path with values of old, asserting that no change shall be made. The lion, Griffith, must quash all hurdles that obstruct his path toward emancipating himself from the norms of others, by asserting, "I will." Yet, one cannot persist on being a reactive being who says no to all his doubters for the rest of his life. Hence, these are the limitations of the lion. Because Griffith conquered all his foes, he no longer has a means to exert his power. Furthermore, while he's free from the rules of others, he finds himself dependent on Guts, a man who is prepared to initiate his own metamorphosis. Remember, Griffith's speech about dreams and friendship. One must have their own reason for living and be equal in all respects. Acknowledging this fact, Guts confronts his own dragon, ironically enough, Griffith, in elevating himself to a higher level. This is all well and good for Guts, but for Griffith, he is lost, unhappy, and without youthful vigor. He thought the answers to life's riddles were well within his reach. However, Griffith needed to accept that life's answers could not be defined via the rejections of others' values. One must create their own values via willing their own will, by recognizing the joyful aspects of self-creation and saying yes to life. Or as the young Griffith stated, there's still time to play. Yes, play the game of life. Establish a new beginning. Avoid making sense out of everything, and simply do whatever the fuck you want. In other words, become the Ubermensch.